The Gold Coast Titans take on the Canberra Raiders, and the Titans have gone through a slight shift, and Wallace comes into your starting prop position. Mo Fotuaker goes to loose forward. Fermor and Stone come onto the bench. Tonopea named in the side as well. It looks like Philip Sammy will be back for this week. I know that he was named last week and didn't play just through injury, but it looks like that injury has come to pass, and he is very likely to play this week. As for the Raiders, unchanged 1-17. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Like the approach, and the Raiders look too good to look past here.
Yeah, completely agree with you there. The other one that I want to mention, Anthony Don back in. Corey Thompson, being hard done by here, scores 2 tries and then gets shafted out for the leading try scorer in Titans history. But yeah, the Don comes back, and yeah, completely agree. The Raiders, they looked the goods last week. Too good, too strong that second half against the Brisbane Broncos. Looking to go 2 weeks in a row here with a Raiders multi getting up after last week's beauty. As for the Titans, probably have their full strength side back minus Jai Arrow, who potentially has played his last game as a Titan. Look, as much as I love the Titans and as much as they've improved this year, you can't, I don't think, pick them, even though they are playing at the Gold Coast, even though they have played a lot better in recent times. Last 4 games, their losing margins have been 8, 6, and 12. And, let's be real, the Sharks kind of turned it on in that second half. As for the Raiders, 3 of their last 4 wins have been 6 or less. They lost, obviously, to the Panthers 28-12, and then smacked Brisbane last week in the second half with the 30-0 second half. Gee whiz. Didn't realize it was that much. Previous performances, the Raiders in the last 2, 3, 4 of the last 5 have won 13 plus. The only other time, Gold Coast 30-28. 3 of those 5 games have been over 50. And the winning team in all 5 games has scored more than 20 points. So, what do I want to do? I'm not going to give an anytime try scorer on this one, but I will go with the Raiders on a race to 20. They have the scoring prowess. I do believe that they're going to shift to the outside, probably to Sammy's wing. The Don is surprisingly good in defense, really good up in the air. Anthony Don could be a shout as an anytime try scorer, as I say 3 seconds ago. Not that I'm not giving an anytime try scorer, but screw it. I'll go back on that. Anthony Don, anytime try scorer. I think he's got a really good shout. He's just there or thereabouts, and every time that I say he's not going to score, he scores. I'm going to get on him this week. He'll try and get around the likes of Jordan Rapner. In terms of any value, there's not really a lot that I'm seeing. Again, Sportsbet have done us the dirty. No anytime try scorer markets. But I think I'm going to go with the Titans to win a half. I think they're going to show up in one of these halves. And if you look at it, minus the game that they lost 21-0, they've either drawn or won a half. So 4 of the last 5, they've either drawn or won a half. So I'm going to go Titans to win a half. Anthony Don, anytime try scorer. And I forget what I said on the other one. Raiders race to 20.
Okay. Yeah, I'm struggling with this one. Worthwhile mentioning as well that at the time of recording, Kevin Proctor is an hour away from his judiciary hearing, so there could be another change depending on the outcome there. We have got that going in the background. We'll keep you updated as to the outcome of that. But back to this game, I'm going to go Raiders race to 20 as well. I'm going to go with the over on this one. Although it's worthwhile mentioning that the last 2 meetings between these two, 30 points and 21 points, doesn't fill me with confidence, but I just think the Raiders look a better side than those last two meetings. I think that the Titans are going to struggle against those powerful ball runners, and I'm going to say that Whiten anytime try scorer as well. So I'm going to go for a triple on this one.
All right, before we move on, I want to give you some food for thought on this over. It's currently 44 and a half. The last 5 games, the Raiders have not gone over 44. Brisbane total points 44, 40 against Penrith, 26 against the Cowboys, 30 against the Bunnies, 44 against the Roosters. In fact, you can go back as far as round 7 to Parramatta. That was a 49-point game. As a matter of fact, they've gone over 44 twice this year. Round 7 against Parramatta, 49 points, 52 points when they lost to Newcastle in round 4. And as you mentioned, in the last 2 games, inclusive of right before the COVID period this year, they have gone 30 or less.
Do you know what? I'm still going to back it. When something hasn't happened that frequently, it's more likely to happen, just because it's one of those things where the Titans have been very good defensively. So I think that they're due a bad game. I think that, or alternatively, the Titans run the Raiders close and there's points. So I think that this one does get up over. And that one's more of a gut feeling than going by the stats, just because of how good the Raiders were last week. Yes, against a god-awful Brisbane defence, and arguably the Titans' defence has been somewhat better than Brisbane's in the last, 5 to 6 weeks. But I see this one going over. Well, I think that does it there then. Thank you for joining us once more as we attempt to take you through the teams to the best of our ability, albeit limited. And thanks again to the guys over at RCR for sponsoring this video. If you would go check them out, their link's going to be in the description. Use code CKM for 20% off your entire order. Free delivery over £50 as well. I can't remember if that's just in the UK or outside the UK. Either way, go spend your money there. They deserve it. And thank you very much for joining us. We will see you for the next one as we talk about how well we did or just how badly we got this one wrong.